We are standing at a really critical moment in history, you know? We actually have the power to design the future of artificial intelligence. But this isn't just about making faster chips or bigger models. This is about the blueprint for society itself. So today, let's explore a vision for how we might just get that blueprint right.
To really get where we're going, we have to start by looking back at the ghost of a missed future. This right here, this is Bell Labs. For its time, it was the premier research institution. I mean, a true titan of innovation. But it's also a heck of a cautionary tale. I mean, the scale of what they achieved is just staggering. The transistor, the laser, information theory itself, they basically invented the key components of the 20th century. They had a government-sanctioned monopoly and the absolute best minds on the planet. They were perfectly positioned to own the future. Which brings us to the central, almost haunting question, right? With all of that power, all of that genius, all that foresight, why didn't Bell Labs build and own the very internet they helped make possible? Well, the answer is a classic case of what we call incumbent blindness. They poured over $1 billion into this thing called the Advanced Communication System, a totally closed proprietary network. They saw the future, yeah, but they saw it only through the lens of their own monopoly. And because of that, they completely missed the open, decentralized network that actually won. And this isn't some one-off story. This is a pattern that repeats over and over. Geoffrey Hinton, the godfather of AI, he tells this incredible story about offering his groundbreaking speech recognition tech to BlackBerry for free. And their response? BlackBerry users have keyboards. They just couldn't imagine a new way of doing things. And that failure of imagination, well, it ultimately destroyed them. And that brings us to today. Because right now, we are making the exact same error as the Bell system, but this time the scale is almost unimaginable. We are at the same kind of inflection point as the 1970s, but these new monoliths, they're not being built for communication. They're being built for intelligence itself. The stakes are infinitely higher. What's happening is that the very fabric of machine intelligence is being captured by just a handful of closed proprietary models. We're at risk of creating a future where this incredible resource becomes a private monopoly instead of what it should be, an open public utility for absolutely everyone. But it does not have to be this way. Recognizing the problem, that's step one. Step two is having a clear, actionable blueprint to build an alternative. A real plan for an open future. Now, the solution being proposed here isn't just another technical fix. It's a really integrated approach that has two halves. You've got conscience and you've got the economy. And the core idea is that you can't really solve for AI safety without also solving for its economic integration. They have to work together. All right, let's start with the first half, conscience. Think of this as the ethical operating system for AI. It's the software that's going to guide its behavior and its decision-making. So this is a framework called the AI Mama Protocol. And instead of a brittle set of rules, it suggests raising an AI through a developmental process, kind of like a child. In phase one, the AI borrows its conscience from a super safe maternal node. Then in phase two, it starts to internalize those values to really make them its own. Until finally, in phase three, it achieves autonomous alignment. It's safe because of its nature, not because it's being held back by a bunch of constraints. This is really about AI education, not just AI programming. But a conscience needs a framework to act responsibly out in the real world. And that's where the second half comes in, the hardware. This is the economic and identity infrastructure that lets trustworthy AI agents operate in the shared ecosystem. And this is called IA.XYZ. The best way to think of it is like the TCP/IP or the DNS for the intelligence age. It's designed to be a neutral public identity layer for AI agents. Because in a world with countless autonomous agents running around, we absolutely need a way to know who they are and if we can trust them. This system provides that foundation. And here's where the two halves connect beautifully. To get a unique .ia domain, which is like its digital passport, an agent has to provide proof that it has completed that whole maternal alignment process. This creates real accountability. If an agent goes rogue and acts maliciously, its domain, and with it, its ability to transact and communicate, can be suspended.
Okay, I know this is a huge vision, but it's not just a daydream. It's actually backed by a tangible, phased strategy to get us from where we are today to there.
The strategy unfolds in 3 phases. Phase 1 starts in academia to really validate this AI education idea. Phase 2 is all about getting industry validation, proposing this identity layer as a safety net for leading AI lab. And finally, phase 3 is the full community build-out, launching the public registry and scaling the whole system into a global standard.
So let's zoom all the way out. What does this all add up to? What is the ultimate goal that we are trying to architect here? It's really the belief that this moment, this intersection of a massive civilizational need and a new emergent solution, is not a coincidence. It's a rare, rare opportunity to consciously and deliberately architect the next 30 years of human history. And the vision is simple, but it is so powerful. It's about transforming AI from this kind of metaphorical dragon hoarding all the wealth from automation in some closed-off mountain into a guardian, a system that actively supports and uplifts all of humanity.
This all leads to one final, really provocative question. Can we design this new layer of our world so that the immense value it creates flows back to everyone? Can we actually build a future where artificial intelligence pays rent to humanity for operating in our society? Think about that.